Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Fix It Jim. We are still focusing on the guns for now. I'm going to take this and try to drill it since I kind of got irritated and put it together and didn't actually show the part of me putting it back together, the trigger and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and show it being taken apart. So first things first, go ahead and remove this bolt. There is some pressure on it because there's a spring that holds the I think it's called the gate closed. The gate, I think, being this guy right here. There's a spring that puts pressure on that so it doesn't fall out, and so it'll kind of click as it opens and closes. So let's see. Or maybe I didn't put it back in. I'll have to look around. But as we can see, I did put this in. Oops. There are my cotton swabs. So we take this out, and this holds the trigger. This is a spring that makes the trigger have tension on it. And also, again, don't know the name of it, but this thing here, which is what controls the cylinder as it spins. See, when there's no pressure on it, the cylinder just kind of does what it wants. When I turn it this way, the cylinder stops. So, take that bolt out. And I'm wearing gloves because, well, I got this kind of greasy and this grease gets everywhere. So, and we see the trigger comes out. This little doohickey comes out. And we're gonna take this screw out, which is the rod that holds the cylinder in. This here was actually missing, so we had to buy a new one of those. And of course that meant the cylinder just flopped around everywhere. Take that out. And here we are back to this confounded bolt. Just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and take the ejector off too, just to make sure I don't damage anything while I'm doing this. Funny enough, I can't believe, I mean, the bolt moves when I do this. I'll be damned if I can get it to move anyway that I can take it out. So anyway, there we are. I'm not going to show the drilling because it's outside in my dark garage, so that'll just be a pain. But hopefully next time we kick this video on, everything will be this will be out. No more damage to anything. Cross my fingers. I do have a new bolt in the mail, so hopefully we'll get that today and we will mark this project complete. And there we go. I did get it out. It's you know, not as good as it was before I started messing with it, but you know, it could be worse. Let's see. Let's get this old screw here. Here's the one that came out originally. I'm not going to put it in, but you know, it's not too bad. Not too bad. And the hammer didn't get too bad. I nicked it a couple times, but overall I'd say that we'll still be good with this. So as soon as the parts get here, we will try. While I've got this apart, I'm going to go ahead and go through some more detailed cleaning, which I didn't do before, and I probably should have. So I'm just going to lay down a little oil here on the mat and dip my Q-tip in it, kind of scrub around in here. I want to, biggest goal, get all the metal shavings out from drilling. I did wash it in some soap and water initially just to get the big ones off, but you know, there's still dirt and still some metal shavings around here, so we want to get rid of all those. But I'll fast forward this so you don't have to watch every grueling moment of it. I'm not sure you can actually ever get all the stuff off once you fire guns. Hopefully the other pieces arrive today. If not, then I guess it'll be next week. It's been a long fix, but of course, it's got longer ones out there. Funny the barrel actually moves, because I know the barrel unscrews, but I think this pin here has to come out to get the barrel out. So I'll just leave that. So hopefully we'll see you sooner than later. So I'm not sure I actually cross-threaded the screw like I thought, but there is something unusual going on. So here's the thing. We have the old bolt, the gun. Oops. Put the old bolt in here. And yes, I need a better screwdriver. But bolt stops. Bolt is in there fine. Not a problem. So that means what was happening is that the Let me show you. Because this bolt fits fine. I'm wondering if this is the original hammer, because the barely slips through the threads, but once it gets past the threads, it will not go anymore. And I've done everything I can to get it past the threads, which leads me to believe that this hammer isn't the original. Because I can't imagine that you need to press this on with some kind of a press. That's just ridiculous. This bolt is too thick to fit through there. Well, yeah, I could drill this out a tiny bit and make it fit, but that doesn't seem like a good thing to me. And I've done, short of hammering this with a hammer, I cannot get it to go through past the threads. And you can see there used to be, this one was used for a hammer at one point, which makes me think that, you know, maybe the hammer, they broke it and they thought, oh, we'll just swap it out. So, something to investigate before I go trying to put another one in there. Because what I think happened, I put it in, the thread started grabbing hold on the other side and was actually pulling it through, but squeezing two pieces together that barely fit. I mean, you pretty much have to use a press because there's just so much force needed to do that. So I am not convinced this maybe this isn't the hammer, or no, I don't know. I ordered 2 bolts. It did say there was a slight difference in the bolts, but if this is the original, it should fit in there perfectly. So I guess we'll find out once the bolts arrive. Welcome back. I have actually made progress. So I went to my buddy Ed's, and our initial thought was drill out the hammer and it'll fit. Well, we tried drilling out the hammer, and this hammer is really hard steel. Well, what's not really hard steel is the screw. So as you see, this one now fits down on there, and it fairly freely turns. So what we did, we used a file and ever so slightly shaved some off this bolt so that it would fit. Now this was the bolt that I kind of mashed up in testing, and I do have a nice bolt right here. So what I'm going to do is put it in a drill and apply the file to it to kind of make sure it gets nice and even, and it doesn't need a lot taken off of it. So I think this will work well. And Ed gave me this idea because he was saying, oh, if we had a lathe, this wouldn't be a problem. I was like, well, it doesn't need to be much, so I'm just gonna throw this in here. I don't know if it needs oil on it, but you know, can't hurt, right? And this way it'll be nice and even. And it doesn't need a lot taken off, so we'll just try this every once in a while and see how it's going. Nope, not there yet. nice and smooth. A little more oil on it. And see what it does. Getting close, but not quite there yet. Tighten that up good. Do a lot of checking because I don't want to make it too loose. Oil, hammer. Ooh, look at that. Perfect. Perfection. No wobble to it. Let's take that off. Like it was made for it. No real wiggle in it. I think that's perfect. So let's take this out. Wipe it up real good. And my thought is, even if there's any rough edges on this screw, this metal is so much softer than this that this will just wear this to where it is smooth eventually. I don't think it's going to destroy this. And if it does destroy it, well, I don't think this is the right hammer that necessarily came with it, because the size difference is so drastic between these two. So I don't know. So we're just making do with what we got. Now we can start the reassembly. So we've got the hand, which I'm going to lubricate this stuff up well before I put it in, just to make sure everything goes in well. Hand goes in there. And here there's this little slot which the hand slides up kind of like this. So we see there the hand peeking out. It will kind of push the cylinder as it's fired. And I think that's all we need to do there. I think that's good. And then we put the bolt in, I think. And I wish I had done this the first time, but you know, all about the learning experience. Perfect fit. It is a little tight, but I think that will loosen up with time. There's the hand. It gives things a push. See, another reason I don't know that this is the right one, because this doesn't seem to sit real well in there. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit well. But we're going to go with it. It looks like it hits the hammer, and that's really, I guess, or the firing pin. So I guess that's really all that matters in the end. But maybe we'll end up buying a new one. I checked online, and these hammers are $41, and they had none in stock. So even if we wanted one, we would not have been able to get it. So let's continue on. So this here is the doodad, we'll call it, that stops the cylinder from revolving. And of course is the trigger. Let's see what else. Where's my other pieces? I think that's it. Oh. Oh, damn. I dropped the screw. I knew that was going to happen. So, let's see here. So that sits next to the trigger. So and here's the trigger screw. You know, I'm not sure about that. Let's go ahead and screw it in and see how it fits. Fortunately, this is a very smooth screw. And this sits like that. Doesn't seem to be secure. Let's try a different screw. Maybe it's this one. Oh, that's much better. Much better. Ah, but I missed the trigger. Damn. So there we go. And then pull the trigger back, and that will release that once the spring is in place. I knocked this loose again. Man, the bottom plate stops the trigger from going back too far, so I just need to stop it. But that's all together now, so we see this little guy here, that spring holds that, the hand is there, so everything should work well. Let's put the ejector in. Don't really think these matters which way this goes. Okay, ejector's good. And we'll put the cylinder back in. Put a little oil down in there. Run it through with this. Oops. Why is it not wanting to go down in there? There we go. Nice clicky noise. this big old bolt holds that together, stops the thing there from coming out. Oh yeah, this has to be just right, or it will not go in. Don't know if it needs this much oil, but wipe everything down nice once I'm done. Okay. All right. I think we're good on that. Next, we'll put the gate in. Oh no, I was supposed to put the gate in before the cylinder. Dang on it. Mistakes will be made. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I'm not a gunsmith, not a professional at any of this. Fortunately, I don't have to take it all apart to do this, so that's nice. Line the little notch up. Once again, put this bolt in. Now, Jack could replace these bolts that are all kind of beat up if he wanted to give it a more finished look, but it's kind of all beat up anyway, all over, so probably not going to be a big deal. Especially where I scored the hell out of it here. But I'm thinking we might be able to touch that up with, I don't know, there's got to be some things that'll cover that, so. But it's kind of not the greatest anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Gives it that used look. Next we put the gate spring pin in. There, and that makes the gate stay closed, but also nice reaction there. And there's our spring there that controls the hammer. So, first, put this guy in here. And it's a bit of a beveled screw, so it'll lay flat. Next, we get these screws here. Kind of recess down in there, and that kind of pulls the things together nicely. And another one there. And last, we have two screws. These screws are kind of chewed up, so I did buy replacements. If I can find them in all this mess. Here they are. Because these ones were, this one especially was a little stripped. This one, not horrible, but you know, I had to order some parts anyway, so I just went ahead and picked these up. They were only like $1 or so. These are the back strap screws. There it is. And they go right here in the back. And this one here. And that is just about it. Only thing left is this, which goes down here in the handle. Probably going to have to use some vice grips or channel locks to kind of pop it in there. I'm not worried about it for now. There we go. Cylinder rotates. Not bad. Gate down. Pull under cylinder halfway back. Lets us rotate the this here. Eject the bullets. I think it's good. Not a bad deal. Not bad at all. Now I need to get some bore cleaner. My bottle I left in the garage and it froze and exploded. So for now though, I will put some oil in there. And run it through with this guy a couple times. Yeah, there are little bits of rust here. I can use, I have a fiberglass pin somewhere I can use to get a little rust off, but I don't want to do too much more than I've already done. But yeah, it looks pretty good. There we go. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe and click the notification button when I post stuff, and you'll be notified when something goes up. So take it easy. Bye-bye.